technocrats to make sure that they attack the welfare state. That is what they are doing with this. But when they say that the welfare state isn't sacrosanct, that everybody has to make sacrifices, that everybody's in the same boat, we know that isn't true. We know they will not cut a penny from the defence budget. We know they will not force the rich to pay any more taxes. We know they will not do anything to cut these wars. And these wars in Iraq and Afghanistan alone have cost £20 billion in the last 9 years. And the human cost of these wars is terrible. On Sunday, the 300th British soldier died. Since August last year, that is 101 soldiers who have died in 10 months alone. It took the first 5 years of this war for 7 British soldiers to die. Now we have 100 in 10 months, and this is going up. The cost of the war is going up and is escalating. And the lies that they tell, that this is about women's liberation, it has nothing to do with women's rights, because women are still suffering in Afghanistan. It has nothing to do with human rights. It has nothing to do with the redevelopment of the country, which is still the third poorest in the world. That is the truth about Afghanistan. That is what the politicians will not tell you, but that is why the majority of Afghans want the war to end, and the majority of people in Britain want the war to end. They said they were going to have a surge which would succeed. The surge is failing every day. They cannot attack Kandahar as they wanted to do. The attack on Marja, which took place a few months ago, has resulted in it being exactly the same today as it was before the attack started. In other words, they are not winning the war, and they're not winning the war because they cannot win a war where they cannot win the hearts and minds of people in Afghanistan, where everybody knows this is the latest imperialist adventure that we've seen from our government, that has been involved in the war in Iraq, the war in Afghanistan, and in support for the wretched Israeli government with its attacks on Gaza and on the West Bank. We have to say today, with this budget, we want a different foreign policy, we want a different set of economic priorities. Why do we live in a world that we earmark money for weapons of mass destruction like Trident, but we cannot afford to pay child benefits to the poorest children in this country? That is the situation we have now found ourselves in, which is why we are protesting today. But today is only the beginning. There are going to be more cuts in September, more attempts to drum up the war as a scapegoat, as a means of scapegoating people who complain about the cuts. This is what they're going to do. So make sure we stay mobilised, we stay organised, make sure we mark the death of the 300 soldier, but we have to renew our campaign to end the war in Afghanistan and to bring the troops home.
Thanks very much, Lindsey, and we are asking all Stop the War groups and other peace activists to make sure this weekend, in every area in London and up and down the country, we do have protests to mark the fact that, disgracefully and tragically, the 300th British soldier has died.
Troops out now!
Get the troops out now! Get the troops out now!
Troops out